Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Joe Two One Love. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, or pre-Thanksgiving, should say. We'll just say Thanksgiving Eve for the podcast today, guys. But nonetheless, happy holidays, and a little early to end the podcast, but nonetheless, here for your sports coverage from me. Our review and predictions here before Thanksgiving. But NFL Week 11 is thus in the books, and go over that as well as my NFL Week 12 predictions. But nonetheless, thank you for joining me. Before I get into it, if you want to see more sports overview topics and or pro wrestling videos on the channel, find those on the homepage. Click the subscription down in the corner. Take you to the channel, the podcast, the whole nine. But nonetheless, thank you. Let's get started. So, NFL Week 11 had some throwing games and some unique upsets. According to my list or paper where I make my picks, we had one, two, three. Yeah, three. Three unique upsets, and according to the lines, the Titans, the Lions, and the Raiders. I picked two out of those three, the Lions and the Raiders, but I'm glad to be wrong about the Titans, which we'll start off with from Thursday night last week, as the Titans won 27-17 in Lambeau over the Packers. The Packers coming off that throwing game, culminating in overtime versus the Cowboys. But Titans, the defense, for the most part, did their job in stopping Derrick Henry on the ground. But Ryan Tannehill, 22 of 27 for over 300 yards passing, a couple of TDs, and a pick. Definitely his finest performance since returning. You know, and another thing, Traylon Burks, 7 catches, over 100 yards. Two big explosive plays. Yes, one was at the end, and one was relatively to start the game. But nonetheless, if the Titans can balance it with not only Derrick Henry running the ball, but the passing game, if they can really get going, then they can really be a threat down the stretch and into the playoffs. And could be scary for the Packers. 17 points. I mean, like I said, they did a relatively good job containing Derrick Henry on the ground, but through the air, the Titans hit some very good pass plays, and Rodgers and his receivers couldn't connect the way they were. And when you look back at, I mean, I thought it was going to be more of the same, but the Titans would still be in it. That when you look back at the Cowboys game, Rodgers didn't throw the ball a lot. Only threw it like number of times. Aaron Jones had over 150 yards. Watson had, of course, 3 touchdowns. He had 2 more. 5 touchdowns in 4 days. So, good for Christian Watson. He's coming to life a bit. But, yeah, the Packers, it's... Ay. I mean, yeah. Falcons beat... I was 1 point away from picking the correct score in this game. 1 point away. Or a missed extra point. I predicted 27-23. The Falcons won 27-24. Falcons really controlled the ball. I mean, this was a slugfest, to say the least. Falcons were able to run the ball. Made some nice pass plays. Unfortunately, Kyle Pitts, injured now, will be on IR. But, the Falcons had to rebound after that grueling watch versus the Panthers on Thursday night. But they rebounded well and got the W with Younghoe Koo's field goal, less than 2 minutes left, so good for them. Justin Fields had another great day. Cole Kmet made a great catch down the middle. Justin Fields is really just coming into his own. Even though they haven't been coming in wins, but he is certainly getting better, and we've seen it. Unfortunately for him, he sustained a shoulder injury, but kudos to Bears offense showing signs of life for going forward, week to week. The Ravens won, beat the Panthers 13-3. Panthers covered, but Ravens still won. This was a bizarre game. I mean, it was 3-3 pretty much for 97% of the game. 3-3. And then Ravens the same drive, couple drives, came down there and scored points. Baker Mayfield, it's unfortunate. I mean, threw 2 picks late trying to do something. I mean, down multiple scores, you have to try for something, but didn't go well. I mean, Ravens moved to 7-3. Yikes. They are. Y'all watch them. And Panthers, defense had a good day. Brian Burns up to 8 sacks this season. But, yeah. And the Bills beat the Browns in Detroit. Yes, in Detroit. For those football fans who don't know how, who didn't catch up with the story. Last week, there were many reports, and I talked about this on last episode when I was predicting this game. Projected to be multiple feet of snow in Buffalo. And somehow the Bills were able to get out of Buffalo literally a couple days ago. Go to Detroit relatively with almost no practice. And come on the field and show out for the Browns. The Browns held into it for a while, but eventually the Bills pulled away. Like I said, if it was a snow game, then you knew it was going to tilt in the Browns' favor because of how they play. But, in the dome, that very good Lions 4 field, and Josh Allen had a good day. Snap 2-game losing streak. Browns are just 1 game away from Deshaun Watson. But it may be too little too late. Commanders, Taylor Heinicke, 5-1. And as a star for the Commanders this season, since taking over the injured Carson Wentz. And they got done in Houston versus the Texans. It was 20-0 at halftime. And the Commanders didn't look back. Yeah. It wasn't pretty. Heinicke had less than 200 yards passing. The ground game did well. The defense is doing really well. Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, and Deron Payne all have at least 6 sacks this season. Now they're getting Chase Young back, and oh boy. Oh, watch out. They are playing like I thought they would play like last year. And why I picked them to win the division. But they are coming to life at 6-5. Eagles survived and won. Close one, 17-16 over the Colts in Indianapolis in Lucas Oil Stadium. It was 13-3 Colts, and really the turning point could have turned it around was when Colts got a turnover deep in the Eagles' territory, and they had to settle for a field goal. And the Eagles found a way, despite their injuries, Jordan Davis, Maddox, and Dallas Goedert. But signing Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph, it helped in little moments. And I think, kudos to them coming off that shaking loss versus Commanders. We're on track. And I have to say, on their Jeff Saturday, they're showing some good things. In Indianapolis, I will say that. Despite only scoring 16 points. Patriots got it done 10-3 over the Jets. Have won 14 straight versus the Jets. Much similar to the Ravens-Panthers game. It was 3-3 for a large portion of the game. Mac Jones, was pretty, had over 200 yards passing. Zach Wilson had less than 100 yards. Less than 80. They had more punts than completions or first downs. But less than a minute to go. Punt to Marcus Jones. Marcus Jones makes a hell of a punt return. Gets outside the numbers, cuts right in, and returns a punt return for a TD. And they win it 10-3. And both are at 6-4, but different Chevy. Another game I was eerily close on. Saints and the Rams. Saints won. Both two disappointing teams this season, but Saints look not as disappointing on Sunday. Matthew Stafford, he made a couple good throws, but he went out, I believe in the third quarter. And didn't finish the game, so yeah. But Andy Dalton made some nice throws. Chris Olave, he is showing good strides as a rookie. If you have to hang your hat on something for the Saints, is that Chris Olave is becoming a gem for this offense for the Saints. Yeah, the Rams, purely Super Bowl hangover. Lions beat the Giants, the G-Men, in East Rutherford, 31-18. The Lions, their run game was smooth. Goff made some nice throws. Their defense played very well. And, Dan Campbell, for the criticism he's gotten this season. To rally off 3 straight against, the Packers, and I know the Packers haven't been the Packers this season, but still, considering that rivalry, if you want to call it that, between division foes, defeating the Bears by 1 in a shootout, and now being a playoff caliber team and the Giants setting them to 6-7-3. I mean, close to the Lions. Now at 4-6 and are not out of it by any means. Second in the division. Hutchinson is playing himself back into the defensive rookie of the year conversation. 5.5 sacks, has numerous picks. I mean, he had one over Daniel Jones. He is making noise. That's to say. Davante Adams certainly made some noise in Denver as the Broncos falter to the Raiders in overtime. 22-16 off a beautiful walk-off touchdown from Derek Carr to Davante Adams as he waved goodbye to the Denver faithful. And this was a tight game. Broncos seemed like they were going to win late, but, Max Crosby had a hell of a day. Had a fumble. He had blocked field goal. He had 2 sacks. I mean, kudos to Crosby. Yeah, that walk-off touchdown. Derek Carr to Davante Adams. Thing of beauty. And I don't know with the Broncos anymore. I just don't know. But kudos to the Raiders. Definitely needed. Cowboys won 40-3 in Minnesota over the Vikings. Just a one-sided affair. Cowboys controlled the clock. Just was the day. And it's understandable after a emotional, thrilling game the Vikings had in Buffalo. And I mean, you knew there was kind of going to be a letdown. But to be let down like that, whoa. And Cowboys definitely had a sour taste in their mouth after losing in Lambeau like they did. And yeah. Bengals won a good one in Pittsburgh, 37-30 over the rival Steelers. It was a pretty good game throughout. And then Bengals pulled away. It was 24-23. And then Bengals pulled away by 13 or 14 rather. And Kenny Pickett made some nice throws. He made some good throws. But ultimately it was not enough. 37-30 Bengals. And a thrilling game towards the end, or to the end. Chiefs beat Chargers in SoFi 30-27 off 3 touchdowns to Travis Kelce, including the game winner with less than 30 seconds left. Mahomes to Kelce, and it was a wrap. Now, Justin Herbert, so Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, their return certainly helped. Although, unfortunately, Mike Williams re-aggravated an injury to his ankle, but it helped the Chargers offense, which has been floundering as of late. Justin Herbert played more explosive and more there on Sunday, but it wasn't enough. Chiefs got it done. And then to culminate week 11, 49ers blew out the Cardinals in Mexico. Jimmy Garoppolo had a hell of a day, 4 touchdowns. Debo had a hell of a touchdown, as well as George Kittle. He had a good day. Christian McCaffrey did some decent things. Them all healthy. It's there. And they take the division lead over the Seahawks after beating them earlier this year. I think there's still one more matchup between the two for the rest of the season, but it's getting tight in the NFC West, that's for sure. Now to pivot from week 11, now to week 12. Gobble gobble, Thanksgiving week. Let's get into it. These games. Tomorrow, 3 games. 3 interesting games on the card for Thanksgiving tomorrow. Well, let's start with the one in the morning. Bills at the Lions. Bills, their second straight game in Ford Field. The Lions have won 3 straight. Lions, or Bills, excuse me. Ten-point favorites. Dan Campbell is bringing some life in that team. 3 straight. And over 30 points in the last 2 games. They started out this season the highest scoring offense, and then it teetered in the middle of the year or the season, but it has come to life again. So 10 points is a bit much. Second game, though, in Lions Stadium on Thanksgiving. Lions cover, but Bills win 30-23. Lions get the dub. Or Bills get the dub, excuse me. Bills get the dub. 7-3 for 7-3. Giants at Dallas. Cowboys 9-point favorites at home. You know, after a performance they had, the way they had it in Minnesota, and on a short week, you know, 9 points is also much because it went so well for the Cowboys in Minnesota. There's going to be a letdown. And so I think this is going to be a tight game. And Giants cover, but Cowboys win 26-20 over the G-Men at home. And then to end it on Thanksgiving, Vikings hosting the Patriots. Vikings 3-point favorites. Who will get the turkey? You know, Vikings got embarrassed at home. Got embarrassed. But the good news is, you know, team got embarrassed. Gotta come back. You know, and their second straight game at home. 4 days later. I think they rallied back and they went 27-21 over the Patriots. I mean, Vikings get it done. Panthers hosting the Broncos. How are the Broncos still getting favored? I don't get it. How are the Broncos still getting? I mean, their defense is great, but their offense stinks. So Sam Darnold is now going to be a starter for the Panthers this Sunday. Now, last year, when he was a starter, he did some good things. He didn't do great, but he did some good things. And, he ran the ball very well in spots. And maybe Steve Wilkes sees that and understands with Darnold, he can run the ball well. He's not Lamar Jackson or Justin Fields, but he can run the ball well. And, this is going to be a tight game. Both good defenses, under the radar defenses, but, you got to find something. So I'm going to go with the Panthers here to win 20-14 and boost some life, into a souring quarterback controversy with the Panthers. I think Steve Wilson finds something with Sam. Buccaneers going to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Bucks 3-point favorites. Browns last game without Deshaun Watson. Do they win? Or now the Bucks offense has not been very good or great this season. It's been very average, when it comes to points compared to the last couple seasons, considering their style of play. So this, not be shocked that the Browns win this. Definitely wouldn't be shocked. Because the Bucks only scored 30 points over 30 once this season. That was a loss versus the Chiefs. I mean, that was a blowout loss. But both teams can run the ball well. It's interesting, but ultimately, though, as you can see from the Seahawks game, Bucks defense starting to get healthy, starting to get healthier, and this is going to be a tight game. That's for sure. I'm going to say the Bucks win and they cover, but not by much. That's to say. 23-17 Bucks win in Cleveland. Ravens at Jaguars. Jaguars 3.5-point underdogs. Ravens now 7-3. Now it wasn't pretty against the Panthers, but they got it done. Jaguars off a bye. Trevor Lawrence, he's growing. I think he had some plays to be had, and that game against Kansas City should have been a lot closer. And, unfortunately, their kicker missed a number of kicks. And their defense has studs. They can certainly make some plays. But I'm going to go with the Ravens here. Get done. Although the Jags can make it competitive. So 27-23. Barely cover. The Ravens win in Jacksonville. Dolphins hosting the Texans. Dolphins 13-point favorites. Texans now going to start Kyle Allen, benching Davis Mills. You know, Dolphins offense, they're now the 2 seed. They're now the 2 seed in the AFC. And could very well. Now, Chiefs will have to slip up. But Dolphins could very well vie for that number 1 seed. I mean, I like Dameon Pierce. He's coming strong. I like Brandon Cooks, but not a lot of great things about the Texans offense. So Kyle Allen, I mean, he can make some plays, but I just don't see a lot. So I'm going to say Texans cover, but 27-16. Dolphins win. Bears at Jets. Bears 4.5-point underdogs on the road. Jets gonna start Mike White. For this game over Zach Wilson. Amid Zach Wilson's struggles. Justin Fields day-to-day with a shoulder injury. This is a gotta-have-it game for the Jets. I mean, because the field is getting eerie in the AFC. And, Bears defense is not great. Not great. So, I mean, whether it's Mike White throughout the game or Joe Flacco coming in, they can do something, and they just gotta have this game. 23-20. Bears cover. Jets win. Move to 7-4. Probably the most anticipated game of the weekend portion of the games. Titans, Bengals, playoff rematch from the divisional round last season, where the number 1 seed was wiped out due to a last-second field goal by the Bengals. Tannehill threw 3 picks. This Bengals 1.5-point favorites. 2 really good teams. I just think, this is a game where, Tannehill, he said himself he had to get professional help or something like that after the game because he was very down on himself after that loss. And, the Titans, I'm sure they're thinking about it. The revenge portion of this. And the other thing, too, that was Derrick Henry's first game after that foot injury middle of last season. So you're going to get a healthy Derrick Henry, a more on track Derrick Henry that's been playing, not maybe rusty. So I'm going to go with the Titans to win this and get it done. 30-24. Titans get the win, move to 8-3. Commanders hosting the Falcons. Commanders 4-point favorites. Commanders have a path to make the playoffs. Now 6-5. After this, they play the Giants twice. Well, they play the Giants, have a bye, then the Giants again. So they can find a way to win enough games. I just think, Commanders are in it now. Their defense is coming to life along with juice to their offense. So 28-23. No, 28-20. Commanders over the Falcons. Chargers going to Arizona. Play the Cardinals. Chargers 4.5-point favorites. Must win for both sides. That's definitely. Chargers can still be a playoff team, but they gotta pick up some wins. They gotta have something. And Justin Herbert looked better last game. I don't know. I still don't know the status of Kyler Murray. But 28-24. Chargers win in the desert. Raiders at Seahawks. Seahawks 3.5-point favorites. Seahawks offense did not look great for the Buccaneers in Germany that day. But, that atmosphere, Bucks up defense getting healthy. Now in Seattle, Raiders coming off an emotional overtime game in Denver. But the Seahawks are back in the 12s. Raiders defense is not great. I think Kenneth Walker can have a better day. Geno Smith can have a better day. I want to say 24 17. Seahawks get the win. Get back on track. Chiefs hosting the Rams. 14.5-point favorites. I mean, I don't need to say this much or go over it much. Chiefs here. I'm sure everyone thought this was going to be a more marquee game. But considering how the Rams have looked, it's sad. So, 31-14. Chiefs win over the Rams at home. Saints at 49ers. 49ers, 9-point favorites. You know, 49ers are rolling. They are rolling. They showed in Mexico that they are very good. Very good. Now, first, the Saints. I mean, Saints showed well some good qualities at home against the disappointing Rams. And going on the road to face 49ers. 27-17. 49ers get the win at home. Moved 7-4. Sunday Night Football. Eagles hosting the Packers. Eagles 7-point favorites at home. I was glad to be wrong about the Packers. And, you know, I will say, though, that without Jordan Davis and without Dallas Goedert, the Eagles look a bit strugglesome against Colts. Colts have good defense, but it was struggling a bit. Packers defense shows some good qualities, but offense, it's not against Cowboys. It's not at home. $30 or no, wait. $26-18. Eagles win at home. Get 10-1. And then to close week 12 of the regular season, Steelers at Colts. Colts 2.5-point favorites at home. Now, like I said, Kenny Pickett liked some of the throws he made versus the Bengals, but down the stretch, Bengals took over. Colts, you know, have shown some life on their Jeff Saturday, and you know, Matt Ryan, Jonathan Taylor, still only 16 points. I'm going with the Steelers, though, to get this win 22-17. No, 22-20. Steelers get the win on the road against Indy. But nonetheless, those are my picks for you guys. Holy crap, well, it's took an hour. But nonetheless, hope you guys enjoy this. Hope you all have a good, happy Thanksgiving, a safe one, and see you guys next week. But if you like this video, click that like, leave a thumbs up, help out the video, help out the channel. But nonetheless, thank you all. Be safe. Happy holidays. I'm Joe Twin Love. Getting out of here. Peace.